Can Squid Games be a teachable moment? The short answer is maybe, and it depends. Can Squid Games be a teachable moment? I'm asking this question because an EdFamily subscriber asked my opinion on this. What would Dr. Jeff do in this situation? So thank you for that very interesting question, but what a tough question. So I'll try my best to share a few thoughts on this. And before I do, I want to go ahead and give you a disclaimer. Some of you may disagree, and that's okay. And these are completely my personal thoughts, and my reflections are completely hypothetical. When I think about Squid Games, I have mixed feelings. On one hand, there's some pride that I felt as I watched the series featuring actors from Korea. So even as a Korean American born in the United States, a second generation Korean American, I find that amazing. Remember, growing up, I didn't have a teacher that looked like me. And in addition to that, I didn't see any people in media that looked like me either. And if there were Asian characters, they tended to be a caricature, one-dimensional, stereotypes. If they were females, fetishized. You get the point. So for a long time now, Korean drama in general has been a very big deal in Asia, impacting billions all across Asia, not just Korea, but Japan, China, Philippines, Thailand. So I've actually seen a lot of Korean drama, and a lot of Korean drama actually tends to be very wholesome. I can watch it with my kids. You'll see filial piety, this respect for elders, resilience, stories of grit and friendship. Some are cultural and historical, and the romance is very romantic. So I'm surprised that not more of those K-dramas have been of interest to the 330 million in the United States. For example, most recently, Itaewon Class or Crash Landing on You. So Squid Game's popularity has surprised me because this movie, like Parasite, is very different than what I'm used to seeing on K-drama. Squid Games, especially, is gratuitous and violent, so much so my wife, who loves K-drama, would feel uncomfortable watching. I wouldn't show it to my kids, and it's not advised under 18 anyway, even by Netflix. So how might this play out as a teachable moment? Well, I'll tell you what I wouldn't do. I wouldn't tell students to watch it, and I definitely would not show a class like this. But since many are familiar with the storyline, I'll tell you this. I know a lot of kids have already watched this. I asked my own children, and they tell me everyone knows about Squid Games. So can there be a redeeming opportunity? If you say the word Squid Games in class, I'm sure you'd have everyone's attention. So similar to Devious Licks, where we talked about how it might be a teachable moment in a previous EdFamily video, might there be a teachable moment as well with Squid Games? Tell me, what do you think of these kinds of questions? Has there ever been a time you wanted to win really badly? What was that time? What happened? Contestants in Squid Games are competing to earn money and are willing to do anything to win. Is that okay? Why or why not? If a person can profit by winning and plans to use that money for good, but many others are going to be hurt, even killed, to win, do the ends justify the means? Why or why not? Why is it important to be kind and show compassion to others? With questions like this, if we had this kind of discussion, don't you think we've really reframed the dialogue that might be happening around Squid Games? I could have a discussion, I'm sure, like this at my own dinner table without even having watched an episode. If this video helped you to think through your thoughts, please do give a like and subscribe. I have a new video coming out every week. I know this. I know many young people may not have that opportunity to have a structured conversation like this. And if not, they're certainly going to be having unstructured, unsupervised conversations around Squid Games, both inside and outside of school. So is this an appropriate approach that I'd recommend for every class? No. Every person, every teacher, every educator would need to think through their own particular lesson, their students, the age of their students, the community that they work in, and if I were teaching this lesson, because of all the gratuity of violence, as I mentioned, I might even run it by administration to ask their counsel of whether my questions were the kind of questions that would work in this setting, just to get their counsel. So once again, follow me on Twitter at EdFamilyTweets. I also started a new Instagram at EdFamilyIG. This is Dr. Jeff from EdFamily signing out.